Warm greetings from Jaya School of Architecture. We welcome you all for yet another session, a very interesting session on the comprehensive look on doors. This is our successful 10th session of the DECODE series, and I now welcome our mentor, the most dynamic architect, Professor G. Raja. To introduce about him, Sir is currently pursuing his PhD in SRM University, and he had been a vital member of IA and COA. Sir had been supporting the fraternity and been the role model and pillar of support for Jaya School of Architecture for conducting this series. I welcome you, sir. I request you to deliver the welcome address and also give a welcome note to our guest speaker for the day. Over to you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Director and Dean, ma'am. It is a privilege, a really great honor to invite architect SADASIVAM sir to this DECODE series. As I always see, this is a series number 10. Always the great Maradona, Sachin Tendulkar, everybody wears the number 10. It's a great pleasure actually having a great man, the number one man, to the right series skill. To know about SADASIVAM sir, now he has done the prestigious architecture course from the greatest institutions in Tamil Nadu, one of the greatest institutions, Regional Engineering College. I used to touch the walls of Regional Engineering College, and I actually went to study NIT in NIT Bhopal, thinking about all the great things happening in NIT Trichy. So it's a great pleasure where he actually studied his architecture from 1994. He is a chief architect of L&T. That's a great thing to hear, because somebody is a chief architect at L&T here in Jaya School of Architecture today. I'm sure it's going to be a wonderful session. Sir has actually completed so many projects. There are so many airports, railways, railway junction stations. You can name a few. Like I can see that the great Gandhinagar railway station, one of the very good redevelopment plan by the L&T construction, which is solely done by Sir. And there are some medical services, and we can see lots of airports. And in Dubai, he actually has done lots of projects. It's a great pleasure inviting SADASIVAM sir to the dais and share his views.
I'm going to discuss about the doors. Yeah, door, people may think it's a door is a simple item, simple component. Actually, it is a component. If you see there's a project cost, it's compared to 1 to 3% of the cost of the doors and hardware. When you're going for the high-rise buildings, some big airport kind of job, if you are going for that, door is a very expensive item actually. So when you choose the door is, we have to know what is the utility of the door, what is the size of the doors, how we have to do that. This thing, you required. I'm going to give brief fundamental about the doors, how to choose the door, where to choose the fire door, kind of things. Because this presentation was big presentation, I cannot cover everything. I'll go faster. I'll explain you what are all going to tell you this. This presentation, especially for architects, engineers, designer, students can use it. It will be useful for them. How to choose the doors. Actually, I'm going to cover the topic, general topic of door, definition of door, type of the door, and door specification. Door specification, I will explain you what is the specification when you write a specification, how the door will be talk about the codes, and then how to choose the fire door. These items I'm going to discuss. Definition of doors, everybody knows how the definition, door where it is required. Actually, what is the door? It's a privacy, it's a movement kind of door actually. If you are going for a hello, can respond it. How many people knows what type of door is there? Anybody can explain me how many type of door is there? Okay, door. If you are okay, I'll come back later. No problem. If you are not able to speak, door is a very important. Door is required for privacy, security, weather. So people may think it's door only security. It's acting as a weather control also. It's fire control, thermal control, visual control, acoustical. Everything will be there. We can achieve in the door when you design the doors. So door thing, people are going for hardware. door swing, it's a very important. I don't know how many people have seen the hardware. When you write they'll write the swing, LHS, RHS kind of things. This is people to understand how the swing will be there, because if we know the swing only, we can define the hardware, what type of hardware is required. How hardware is that? It's a door coordinator, door swing, everything will be based on the, if you know the swing, then you can decide that actually. Otherwise, if you are not clear about the swing, you cannot able to choose. One more thing also I want to highlight it here. When you put the tag, when you design the tag, door tag, it is very important. The tag itself is to know where this room, which level, which floor, what type of door, fire door or normal door, that type of things. Information has to be there when you design a door tag. For example, when you design a door tag, you ought to say that this is which floor, which room, which metal door or steel door, glass door, or how fire door, non-fire rated door. All the information in the tag itself, it has to be there. That gives you, when you any queries, any clarities, we can easy to explain actually. Tag is also very important. When you put the swing, that is linked with us actually. Swing is, people may think swing is very how important, because swing will be obstructing the fire corridor. That I will brief you. How many doors is required, where the door is required. I don't know, when you design a classrooms, the people will give you two door. I don't know how many people knows why we are giving two door. Why the door it's double shutter. I don't know. Can anybody can say why double shutter is there? Why single shutter is there? Why not single shutter? Can anybody can say?
It is something to do with the exit of the
Exit calculation and exit calculation. It is that more than 50 people are there. It's a mandatory to give a two door. That is the necessary means of egress is two. If something it's happened in the fire on another door, they can escape on that. So many worldwide court cases there. The people will get jammed in the door areas. So number of doors will be decided by the occupancy. Size of the door is decided by the occupancy. Swing is also decided by exit route. Each code is defining how it will be there. If we talk about NBC, if we talk about NFPA, how exit calculation has to be done based on this will be there actually. So mandatory, any room it's required, means of egress is required to anything. When you design any escape route is very, very important. Two escape is required, two door is required. Means of egress is single means egress will not work. Then people will get jammed and get fired. Will not able to escape. Okay, I'm going faster because I need to catch all the slide. If anything is there, you can ask a question, no problem. Type of door, this is, I don't want to tell you, actually everybody knows flush door, panel door, lower door, wicket door, bifolding doors, and sliding door, revolving door, overhead sectional door. I don't know how many people knows. Anybody knows what is the overhead sectional door? Anybody knows the overhead sectional door? What is that actually? Thermal insulated door, anybody knows? So I will explain you in later how that will be there, but general things you know that. Whatever new things I can explain you later things, actually no problem. Door metal, this is all everybody knows how the wood will be there, aluminum, glass, PVC, all composite kind of door will be there nowadays. This all things people knows. If you have any difficulty, you can ask me something. Actually now all the type of doors and materials comes. These are all I'm pushing. Revolving door is also very important. Revolving door will not be considered as an fire mode, it will be you for that fire exit, you should not calculate for the revolving door. When you fire exit, put that, this will be for that airlock only, not for that fire escape. This is a revolving door, we can keep that, but you should not consider for the fire purpose actually. Sliding door, it is also as per code, it is not required a fire exit door, but if you are a VMS system, if you are connected, deactivated, it will be open condition. When you fire mode, it open condition, it is allowed. Otherwise, it's not allowed. But as per NBC, now they are allowing. If you are going for abroad, these sliding doors are not acceptable. But even though it is a fire mode, it is a openable. Overhead sectional door. Overhead sectional door. It's people may think sliding door, rolling shutter. Rolling shutter will not have a thermal insulations. We require a thermal insulation, maybe air conditioned rooms. Some other rooms require a thermal insulation, means there need a bigger openings. We used to use a overhead sectional door. Overhead sectional door will go and stand on the top actually. You can able to see that picture, that the door will swing and stand on the ear actually. This is especially the warehouses, air conditions, somewhere wherever air condition is there, openings are bigger, there we can use it. Here you can make a visible glass also, you can fix it actually. This is for the where air conditioned space, you need a big space. I'm also keeping this. Smoke control barrier. Actually, this is the people, I don't know how many people knows why the smoke control. When you design a big buildings, the smoke will not transfer from this area to this. The fire compartmentation kind of things will be there. When a smoke barrier, we have to use it, means the door has to be 100% sealed. The bottom, it has to require a drop seal, it is required to smoke should not leak on that side actually. Hello?
Sir, it's
okay. This is kind of smoke kind of things. When you fire time, this will be drop curtain kind of things will be there. I think this is a big chapter. I'm not touching the door actually. Door, when you design a door, when you design a corridor, it's a wide corridor. Corridor is exceeding more than 15 meters. Intermediate, you are providing a one door. The door required 100% smoke sealed door. It has to have a smoke control. Otherwise, when you fire it has happened that side, the smoke will come on this side actually, because smoke will transfer small hole also. That should be have a smoke barrier kind of things actually. This is a smoke curtain. Mega door. Mega door, it will be airport generally when the aircraft maintenance shed kind of things will be there. This will be used. This door can go for 15-meter wide or 20-meter wide kind of things will be there. This is kind of mega door will be there. This will completely mechanically operated, electrically operated kind of things will be there. Acoustical door, all the doors can achieve acousticals. How we are achieving acoustical, that is, it depends upon that what is the acoustical level is required, how it has to be, how frame has to be insulated, how the shutter has to be insulated. That's a part of design. We can achieve acoustical. When you design acoustical rooms, we can door also we can design acoustically. Access control, this is not an issue. This is a component. Everybody knows what is the component. When you know that, these are all very important things when you design a hardware. What are all hardware need to be considered? I just outer line I'm touching when you design a hardware. What are all things is it? Security point of what is required, control point of what is required, what is the fire kind of things will be there, how prevented kind of things is there. Hardware is also important. Hardware, if I get a time, I will explain you later actually. Lock, we can choose that. When you choose the lock, American lock, European lock, the lock is having a separate privacy. I don't know, so many people, children will may lock inside actually. Then people will start to break the door kind of things in there. Then children lock will be there, right? Child lock will be there, thumb turn kind of things in there. Lock, it's a big subject actually, because this is the kind of things hardware. When you hardware, it is a big, anything required specific hardware doubt, you can ask me, I can explain you. When you design hardware, what are all you know you have to consider, I can explain you. But right now I'm not briefing complete kind of things actually. Second thing, this is the, when you design a big building, backup house, front of house, how door has to be there, which is the door backup house, which is the front of house door. Door has to have an aesthetic, because the money is also we are spending. Backup house, front of house, the backup house can be a secured point, front of house and aesthetic has to be there. So wherever the public, wherever the visitors, they're moving, that is, we call it as in front of house, they are required aesthetic, everything it's required. Where the maintenance people are there, it's required security kind of things. That's called to be backup house and front of house. Just people to understand, I'm putting this slide for that. What is backup house, what is front of house doors? This is, I'm talking about specification. Specification, generally, people may think CSI specification, this is a universal specification. When you go to, if you are in US, if you are in abroad, any country, if you say that is a division 3 means they'll talk about concrete only. Division 9, they'll talk about finishes. Division 8, they're talking about openings kind of things only. That if you are going for a, this is a universal. Everywhere, this is a specification, this is a division. If you know the division, I know what is they're going to talk about. So division, this is all important when you going for a CSI specification. How many people knows what is CSI? I don't know. Anyone can say anything about CSI? CSI is a construction specification institute. It's a worldwide, it's an American institute. Actually, they will write the specification universally. If you see that in worldwide, there is a two universities having that specification, everywhere following that type of specification. If India, if you are India, American, any foreign companies are practicing in India, they'll use CSI specification. Otherwise, everybody will say providing and fixing in the 40 mm thick with the 18 kg shutter, this much height. That is the kind of specification will be there. CSI specification is have a deep material and then sample, how it has to be that method statement, everything will explain about the CSI specification. When you write a specification, what are need to be considered, that thing it will be explained in the specification. So particularly I'm talking about the how that door specification. When you specification, this door will talk about which code, how it is, this code include what are all section is included, what submittal has to be there, how the warranty has to be there, how method statement, material, everything it has to be there in the specification, even installation. Yes, anything? Anybody is having doubt?
I think
Hello? Hello?
I think it was a mistake.
Yeah, it's no problem. When you're going for a CSI specification in worldwide, this is, I'm not talking about India, it's an abroad, another country. This specification content about this thing actually. These are all, it's a component of that specification. How execution has to be there. How when a door has come, people are saying that fire door, how it has to be tested, how it has to be fire door, how has to come to reach site. Everything will be specified in the specification. This is the guidelines for the architects, how to do that, check that actually. This is anybody required, you can end of the time, you can ask me, I can explain you further actually. These are all important. When you write a specification, you have to write the shutter thickness, shutter performance, how that manufacturer has to be there, what is that, how it has to be insulated, how it has to be maintenance, everything has to be mentioned in the specification. Code. This is the generally what type of codes. I'm giving the brief. NBC, everybody knows. International Building Code, IBC. Also, this is a universal code for that everybody's. This is this NFPA is also one of the, but NFPA, it's a life safety code, but they are talking about general. If you are going for a fire kind of things, in NFPA 80, you have to go. If you're going for a smoke kind of assembly, you have to go this type of this. If you are going for an European, there, if you are NBC, NFPA will not work on American European things, because this is an American in European kind of war. Actually, it's there. We have to, life safety is that 999. Actually, there it will be specified about the door, how it has to be there. Actually, how steel door, this is a general specification kind of things. These are all, when you put the code reference, we have to take it from that. When you talk anything about the door, we have to give the reference to the code. You should not give that, I know this, I do this. Actually, when you talk to one architect, you have to explain as per this code, this is required. That then they will be easy to convince. Actually, when you give that, you don't say I want it like this. Actually, so code also important. Just I'm highlighting what type of code is there. Actually, how the minimum width, what is the NBC says minimum width of the door, what is the minimum height of the doors, what is the NFPA says, this is a comparison. Actually, okay. Number of exit, I told them how that, and people also know something, the shutter, when you show the egress will be calculation from the frame to frame or clear. Actually, it is the egress calculation. It has to be made clear with, it is not including frame. Frame can be decorative aesthetics, but we can consider the minimum, this obstruction, 3 inches obstruction, it be allowed in the egress calculation if you are going for NFPA. I don't know, it looks so one-way traffic, nothing is there. Okay, no problem. This is that how the calculation, outdoor has to be there. Number of steps, how it has to be. When you go landing, it is a, when his door is there, landing, it must be. Without landing, door should not give. This is the topic I wanted to give as an architect swing. Why then people are thinking how it has to be the swing. This is, you have to consider as an exit corridor. When you exit corridor, door swing is 180 degree, we can allow by A by 2. If the door is projecting out, we can allow 7 inches. If you are more than that, when you fire mode, people will go, will get it, they'll not run it actually. So exit, this is the minimum requirement of the swing. Anybody has this doubt in this, you can note it down, you can ask the question. I don't have any problem, because this is, I wanted to explain in further actually. That this is especially exit corridor, this type of things you have to consider. This swing, if you are making a mistakes, and also when you're making a swing, before that you need to make a fire strategy. How people, when you fire mode, how people will escape. I mean, which route they'll go. In that route, door has to swing. Even though this is the room, residential, then people may ask, residential, this type of swing will not be there, because their number of occupancies 1 or 2. When you going for a public sector, public building, number of occupancy will be more. So people may come, all the door, it has to open towards the exit side actually. When you swing, in the staircases also, I put the one dotted line, people knowing, because this is a door swing. When you fire mode, people will run down, run up, depends upon where the refuge area is there. Based on that, they'll run up. When you wrap up, the door swing should not, people, when you enter, the swing should not obstruct the people. So how much is the swing has to be allowed within the fire exit zone. That is what we mentioned actually. Hello. How this is how the fire door, how much is the importance for that openings and size of this thing actually, because of this I don't want it to cover now. Revolving door already general brief I given, how much is the height is we given. This is a British code. How we are seeing an NFPA 101. Similar way, this is a British code for life safety. This is also talks about how the safety, how the number of people, how much is the exit, minimum exit with this, how it has to be there. We have to do the door calculation based on exit calculation actually. This is the exit calculation. We should know how the number of people per person, how much is required. Then we have to calculate the flow, then divide the number of door. If you know the exit width, you can divide number of doors. Even one door you can give, you can do two door also. But if your occupancy is increasing, you have to give the 2 door, minimum 2 door. If you are on more than 15 meter, you have to introduce 1 door actually. Hello. This is a kind of escape route. This is a kind of escape route. How it has to be. Escape route means the people will have direct exit out. It is the when the fire it has happened, the people has to directly to go out actually. For that, this is if you are on a floor, how it has to be the exit route actually. This is all. I'm not going to touch detail kind of things because this is the things I'm going to take some more time actually. How to choose a fire door. How to choose the fire rated walls. Both thing I will tell you in later. This thing. Fire door, it has to have a self-closing, overlapping. These are all mandatory of fire doors. Fire door have a panic bar. The panic bar has to have the direction. This kind of things. When you, this is that actually. Okay, I'll explain here itself. This is the escape route. When you escape route, when you do that, this corridor has to have a, I'm talking about NBC, sorry, NFPA. NBC says its corridor is 1 hour fire rated, door also 22 or 1 hour fire rated, but NFPA or IBC or 999 is talking about door is wall is 1 hour fire rated, door should have 20 minutes fire rated, because when you before wall get dismantled, door has to get dismantled to come out. So we cannot keep all the things, but Indian code has still has not updated. They're still discussing about that, how it has to be their fire rating. They're just copied whatever what you are seeing that in NBC 2016, it's copied from NFPA actually. But they are not copied completely. Something there has to do actually. Some research, some discussion. We are also have the part of team actually. We are NBC committee. We are discussing about this. But here people has to understand that, because here cost wise all are same. That's why they are using actually. But for example, this is the fire corridor means door has to have 20 minutes. Hazard 2 hours. Electrical rooms 2 hours. Staircases are 2 hours. This is the important kind of things actually. How dead end will be there. Yeah, this is what I explained in there. If you have anything, you can ask the questions. This is a staircase room should have fire rated. External wall need not be a fire rated. Still, some people are arguing, even in our premises itself, they are asking, so, sir, can you put it external? External wall need not be a fire rated. Where it is required fire rated, next to neighboring building is hazard building. That may easy to get fire, that wall need to be fire rated. Need not be an external wall fire rated, even though you can see that staircase is fire rated. I put it only internal, external I'm not put the fire. If we not fire, get dismantled, people will escape. So this is the mandatory, the requirement of door fire rating. When you design the door, when you electrical room should require 2 hour fire rated. Any hazard room is required fire rated. Exit corridor, staircase. This when you design this, these are all a very, very basic parameter, very fundamental basic parameter to design a fire rated walls. If you are going for a Delhi, Delhi bylaws, if you are going for a basement kind of things, you have to make a 3-hour fire rated kind of things is there. Now in new code says is any substations in the basement, they are asking for a dry type, also they are asking for a oil type, they are asking for a 2-hour. Even now code is saying dry type also 3-hour fire rated actually. Outdoor, people may ask the questions, fire door, how to choose the fire door? Fire door, you have to know that fire door first, it should be sealed. It should be labeled when you before coming. They should not puncture anything on the fire door. They should not put nailing on that. If they are not hammered, anything should not put it. Kind of things should be there. So fire door, it has to have a label kind of things. Label kind of things, it has to be there. Without label, we should not consider as a fire door. How fire door assembly, how fire it will be there actually. This is a kind of their barrier, smoke barrier kind of things I was talking. This I'm explaining how the smoke barrier will be there, how fire corridor will be there, kind of things in fire mode. These are all very critical things when you design that fire door kind of things actually. This is the exit system. Dead end travel distance, this type of things very important. When your travel distance or dead end will be calculated from the door, not from the room actually. When you go for a common path kind of things, I think now they copied exactly the picture also there in NBC. You can see here actually there is one picture kind of things will be there, that you can understand thing will be there. Fire door have a vision panel. People should know how extend the fire is. The fireman has to have access to see vision panel. So fire door required a fire vision panel kind of things. How the fire zone, compartmentation kind of things. Fire rating, how it has to be there. This is a new code. You people are knowing that staircases, when you design that fire tower will be there. How the fire tower has to be there. Each fire tower have access, fireman, fire lift, and then fireman, fire hose cabinet, everything has to be there. When you design, this is a very important when you design that actually. This is every code says is about tolerance. Tolerance will be there. If you read each steel, how much tolerance, aluminum, how much tolerance, that is the tolerance when you door designing, you have to keep that tolerance kind of things actually. I think single rebate, double rebate, how it will be there, how frame will be there. That is the things. American, European, this is what ANSI, this thing I talked about, hardware kind of things.
Thank you very much.
I now request our Dean, Professor Anita M., to deliver the vote of thanks and a few words for the guest speaker today.
Thank you, Professor Kavita. Thank you so very much, Architect SADASIVAM. I know this was prepared for your L&T personnel, and you choose to share it with the entire fraternity of architecture at such short notice. Thank you so very much. I'm sure it is an eye-opener for all the people who have joined us, that there is so much of detail in a simple thing. And we thank you for giving us your time. I know you're very busy, and getting this 1 hour from you is very difficult. Thank you so much for giving us this time. I would like to especially thank our senior architect, V. Balakrishnan Vasudevan sir, who has come here, who has also graced this event and made it most special. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you,
Yeah.
Sriram, Architect Sriram. I would like to thank our Dean, our head of the institution, Dr. P. Satish Kumar, who has been the wind beneath our wings, who has been propelling us to reach wonderful information to the entire fraternity of architects and students. So today it is a little longer than what we normally do, but it was worth it. I'm very sure. We'll meet again tomorrow for another interesting topic. We'll meet
Thank you,
again.
ma'am. Thank you, ma'am. Thanks for giving a good opportunity to share my knowledge to others.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very